I love using the Jesus Film app. I find it to be a very effective tool. I remember the time I was at Walmart checking out with my groceries, and I was about the third person in the line, and I could see that the lady checking us out was from India. So I asked her where she's from. She says, "Oh, I'm from Gujarat." So as she continued checking out people on their groceries, I got into the Jesus Film app on my iPhone, and before you know it, I had a section of the Jesus Film in the Gujarati language up and ready. So when I got to her, I was able to show her a portion of the Jesus Film right there in Walmart in her language, and she was very happy. I don't think I've ever had a person unhappy with me when I've shared a clip or a segment of the Jesus Film on the app. Another time I was taking a taxi home from the DFW airport, and I found out that my taxi driver was from Iran. So I said, "Oh, is Farsi your first language?" He said, "No." And then he told me what his local language was. And yes, we had the Jesus Film in that local language on the app. So I pulled it up. I was in the back seat, he was up front. And I didn't want to show him the video, but I put it on audio so he could hear it. And he was very surprised. He said, "That's my language." And he went on to say, "My mother back home needs to hear this because she can't speak Farsi. I'm going to send her the link," he said, "on my phone so that my brother over there can look it up on the app and show it to my mom in her language." Another time I was in Atlanta, Georgia for a ministry conference. As I was checking in at the main desk of this 5-star hotel, it appeared to me that the woman behind the desk was Indian. I asked her, and she said, "No, actually I'm from Nepal." I thought, well, that's great. So meanwhile, I pulled up the Jesus Film app for Nepali language and got into Magdalena, which is the special Jesus Film filmed for women. And I started showing it to her. Right away she got on the phone, and I thought, oh, she's not interested, she's so distracted. But then I realized what was happening. She was asking for a replacement that could fill in for her briefly at the desk so she could sit down with me and take time to listen to a portion of the Jesus Film in Nepali language. She was very happy about it. And with her level of interest, I was able to connect her with a Nepali church in the Atlanta area so that she could attend there and learn more about the Lord Jesus Christ. I love using the Jesus Film app. Here in the States, it's easy just to connect on the cellular system without downloading anything. But when I go overseas, and if I know what language I'll be ministering in on a mission trip or any other activity, I can download it to my phone. It takes very little storage, and then I will have everything I need for the local people in their own language.
Another tool you can find on the Jesus Film app is a selection of short films, which are not based at all on the Jesus Film itself, but are created in modern day settings to be something like visual parables. And you can use them as conversation starters for spiritual conversations. They communicate for the most part very well in many cultures. My favorite one is called Maria, and I have used it in South Asia, even in village settings. One time we were in a small village and we were accompanied by some local Christian leaders who were translating for us and so forth. We were going from one household to another, introducing the film. We would get out our iPads and we would ask if they would like to see a film, and they would always say yes. And we would show this film called Maria. This film is about a brave and kind man who sacrifices his life to save others. There is no need for any spoken dialogue, no need for translation of the film itself. It just is completely understandable just by watching the action. At the end of the film, which is quite dramatic and touching, we would just start talking, about their feelings about the film. What did they feel as they watched the film? And after a little bit of interaction, then I would ask, well, have you ever met any person who was like that man who sacrificed himself for others? And they would always say no, they had never known anyone like that. And then I would transition and say, the gods we worship, they always expect us to bring a sacrifice, an offering to them, right? And everybody would say, yes, of course, they all knew that. And then I would say, have you ever heard of a God who gave his life as a sacrifice for people? and they had never heard of such a God. I would then tell them about Lord Jesus, and that he was a God like that who sacrificed his life for people. And I would say, unlike the man in the film, when Lord Jesus died, he came back to life again 3 days later in the same body. So he was not defeated by death, but he conquered death. And they were all very interested to know that. And I would finish by asking, would you like us to come back later and show you the full movie about the life of the Lord Jesus? And again, everyone was very receptive to that. So these short films are also very excellent tools in the whole Jesus Film app.